Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out with former two-weight world champion and living legend, I think it's fair to say, Chris Eubank Sr. We're here in the gym that you obviously toiled away in for many, many years under Ronnie Davis, and your son is now using to prepare for his big fight next week with James DeGale. So, excuse me, first of all, I wanted to ask you about the new training setup your son's got for this fight. Nate Vasquez coming over from Las Vegas to take head trainer responsibilities alongside Ronnie Davis, who you obviously know very well. What do you make of that whole setup?
No comment.
Fair enough. How much have you seen of Junior in preparation for this fight, and how do you compare how he looks compared to previous fights?
No comment.
What could I ask you about that you would like to comment on? That's probably an easier way to go.
Anything else?
Okay. Anything related to Junior's fight, or is that completely? Okay.
You can, yeah.
So you've obviously spoken to Junior. I know you've been away a lot in the last few months, but you've spoken to Junior. What's his mindset been like leading up to this one?
As always, focused, determined. His work ethic, as always, is the same. Never a problem in that regard. Always in the gym, lives a life. So let's see. You see what it is, I've been wrong twice about fights. I never thought he could lose against Groves, against Saunders. So, you know, this one, what do I know? What do I know?
Well, I'd say you know a lot. I hate to disagree with you, but you've got a wealth of experience. You've seen pretty much every style of boxer there is out there and overcome the vast majority of them as well, especially in your prime. I don't think you were ever beaten. So one thing I did want to ask you, have you never considered training Junior full-time yourself, or would that your schedule not allow it, or would he not be comfortable? What's the reason why you don't take him in hand?
No comment.
Fair enough. I mean, I was just thinking that there seems to be no one better than someone who's got his best interests at heart. You're obviously his father, and the fact that you've got all the experience from your own long career to kind of look out for him.
Preach it! Preach! Carry on preaching.
Is that a sign of agreement? Do you agree with me on that?
Listen, I mean, the common sense viewpoint is, yeah, well, what can I say? You know, the experience, never mind me, Ronnie Davis. Look, you know, do you realize that I actually had never had another trainer? From the time I actually came to the United Kingdom in 1987, Ronnie's been the one guy. He did everything. So, you know, it's never about who's training you. It's about your own mindset. Okay, so we're going to teach a little now. So we're going to seminar now for some of the young fighters coming up. Use your own brains. It is as simple as that. Use your own brains. You know, stop relying on the brains of your trainer. Use your own brains. Ronnie said at one point, he said the father told him when he was younger, about 5-6 years ago, don't listen to anyone. I didn't mean me. Okay. You know, I didn't mean Ronnie, you listen to us. But a lot of people talk who don't know what it's like to be in there. They don't understand the life. They don't understand that you're going to want to go to the wine bars, but you can't. And the fact that, you know, you yearn to, that yearning makes you a better fighter. When you actually go in and are drawn into those bars, it weakens part of you. But all of these principles, they don't mean anything if you don't apply yourself to them. So, you know, you can bring a horse to water, but you can't make the horse drink, so to speak. Great advice means nothing if you are not listening. Is it frustrating? No, you become then an example. You're still positive for all those out there who are looking for the way. You see, there is a way. And to know that way, it's about using the brains and the experiences of those who have been there, or the elders. And when you do that, you then couple their experience with your drive and youth. And that's how you actually leapfrog. If you don't listen, then you're actually going to have to be taught. Life will actually teach that young person what it taught the father. Listen to the guys who are not trying to trip you up. And that isn't anybody else. As far as I'm concerned, when in boxing, the promoters, they have an objective. That objective is not about you, the fighter. It's about them. So, the good thing that I can say at this particular moment in time is the fact that because I've lived this life as a fighter, because I am a former participant, I look at fighters as my family. I'm never going to mislead you. I'm never going to trip you up. Be careful, because there are those who will say, oh, you can't listen to him. And they'll persuade you, don't listen to Eubank. Why not? They don't know what I know. They just don't. And what's more is, they're not loved. The reason why fighters are loved is because they go beyond the call of duty. They fight other men. And, the masses, because boxing is the king of sports, they love when a fighter can go beyond the call of duty or show grit. That's why fighters are loved. Everybody else, they are not. They are just making money. Not talking them down, because everyone has to make a living. The fighters need them, and they need the fighters. Don't let anyone discourage you from listening to those who have been there. I'm just a daddy, okay? And what a daddy does is actually give the best he can to the kids. And in boxing, you're coming up, so effectively you're youngsters. Listen to the wisdom. It can do you no harm to listen. You don't have to apply yourself to it, but if you don't, you'll see you will fall short because you didn't listen. And you'll learn from your own experience. But the point of fact is, and it's just so simple for me, because I was able to do it during my career. I was able to do it during my career to see how to do it. And now I have 20 years experience having the ability to look back. So what I have up here is, it's priceless. It's priceless in a business that you're trying to make headway in. So don't let those who have their own agenda, which is not your agenda as a fighter, don't let them talk me down. Oh, he's crazy, or he's, oh, he's an eccentric. So it's too simple. Don't let someone call someone crazy and, look at what they've been through. If I'm crazy, then you are crazy too as a fighter. You're fighting other men, okay? One of the prerequisites is chivalry. Now, if I'm practicing that, and they're still talking about me 20 years after I've retired, then obviously it works. So stop using foul language. I don't care what anybody says, stop. Better your vocabulary, period. I don't want to discuss it with you, it's common sense. Better your vocabulary. If you speak well, you have a better ability to make a better account of yourself. What are you trying to win? You're trying to win the hearts of the people. The belt will come if you're being gallant, if you're following that golden thread of integrity. If you're applying that integrity to your vocation, if you're applying your integrity to your vocation, how can you not get there? You're going to get there. Have faith, do the work, keep away from the ordinary life, keep away from the ordinary life, keep away from what your mates are doing. If you want to be exceptional, you're going to have to be exceptional. You can't go and do ordinary things and expect to get an exceptional result. You know, you've got to pay that price. And that's what valor is. And all of these words, they're important, so learn them. Integrity, punctuality, discipline. Look into these words, study them, find the synonyms to them. Use them. Great. Great. It's a fantastic word. Use it. Make it part of your language. The youngsters, if they're listening, if they hear this, you know, if you don't know, you don't know. And if you don't know, you're gonna run into problems in this business, in this sport, in this life, which has consequences to your future.
Sure.
So the ones who do pick it up, it works. How do I know? I'm a 19-time world champion. I just am. I can't help it. I did it. What I'm recounting is how I did it. How? Okay? You cannot be like your mates. You can't be like the pack. You know, you have to be a loner. You know, you will yearn to do the things that your mates are doing, but that will make you just like them. It won't make you a champion. It's a very lonely life, okay? But it's a vocation you fighters have chosen, so I'm telling you how to get through it. You can't do the two. You can't be a womanizer and a champion. Certainly not while you're growing or heading towards that goal of championship fights. You know, one or the other. You've got these guys trying to do 2 or 3 things, vocations. 2 or 3 vocations. You're not getting anywhere. One. Master one. Don't be a jack of 3 or jack of all. Master one. And if you're going to be in boxing, then listen to those who have been there who cannot be trying to trick you. I can't trick you. And I'm not telling you stuff which is just, oh, that sounds wonderful. Apply what you're hearing. If you don't apply it, you're going to come second. In boxing, that's losing.
Chris Eubank Sr, thank you very much.